do other people do?
I I think it's still pretty much the same. Very much of our society is geared, even maybe more so now, is geared towards more entertainment,
Hmm.
more pleasure and more entertainment. But one of the things people don't understand is a lot of pleasure just on top of pleasure doesn't really make you happy or doesn't make us go anywhere. I think that needs to really shift. That understanding needs to
Yeah.
really shift.
I tend to agree with that.
It's a big misconception in my book. Most people think it will, more just more. I will go
I
to
mean, more is
another.
better.
Yeah,
Not.
one of these days.
Can I ask a question
Hmm.
of you? I am curious how it is that you came to be an astrologer because like we were talking about how, you were hiding yourself and all this. Like how did you what's your origin story? What's your like what brought you here? How would you
So that is maybe those are two questions, but let's start with the astrologer question.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
The astrologer question is quite simple but hard. It was so I was in a
That's what she said.
uh,
Sorry.
that is
Fuck.
what she
It
said.
just came out. I couldn't stop it. Sorry.
That's good. We have that going with my fiance as well. That's pretty funny. It's the
Oh,
funniest
it's so
joke.
funny. It's one of the funniest. Okay.
Um,
So,
but anyway, I was in a previous relationship. I think it was the one before that, but it was years and years ago now. It was like around 2013, 2014, so around, what is it, like 9 years ago? And maybe eight, 9, 8, something like that.
mhm.
I was already a little bit interested in astrology, but I wasn't really, do something kind of like in the back burner I knew about, I wasn't too much into it, you know. And
Mhm.
but the strange thing started happening with me and that person I was in a relationship. I noticed a pattern of us arguing, then a little break, again arguing, a big fight, again everything was fine, arguing, you know, again. So I was like, what the hell is like going on? And by then I was already kind of like in spirituality or whatever, and I was like, you know, I guess I wasn't so deeply into prayer like I'm now, but I was like still like, you know, what the hell is going on? I was going, was asking those big questions in my mind. I was like, why is this so, and what is happening here?
Mhm.
And basically, what happened was like I stumbled upon a YouTube video by one of my main teachers, Lara Duncheva, and I recommend everybody listening to this go and check out her channel, although it was hacked, and
Oh
now
yeah.
now it
She
is
has a whole new one,
relaunching.
right?
It's just
And
relaunching again.
we were talking about cyber stuff, cyber attacks and hacks and all that. So, oh my
Hmm.
God,
That will
that's
happen
freaking
more,
crazy. Wow.
and
Anyways, so you were watching the video.
and basically just stumbled on the video, and she was talking about moon cycles, and I was like, oh, she was like telling like emotions come up, and then stuff like that. She was explaining them very practically, very earthly, and I was like, okay, so there's a pattern in my life, and she's talking about patterns. Okay, let's, you know, and I gotta have to say, on that video, I was like, astrological predictions, whatever the name of the video was, I was like, I don't care, but something inside of me is like, click on it, click on it, just watch it, again, that intuition, deeper
Yeah,
place.
you can always throw it out later.
Yep, exactly. And that was my thinking as well. And she was talking about those cycles, and I started really after that started observing the moon cycles, and I noticed, lo and behold, every full moon, every new moon, again we had a fight. The emotions percolated with unresolved issues came to the surface, and we needed to resolve another fight, and So it happened constantly, and that really opened up. I was like, "Phew, okay, so astrology really works. Okay, so what else is there?" So I went deeper into it. I was like,
Right.
okay, so I will watch. I watched also the predictions for the next coming months, and they came true. I was like, okay, so is this becoming true because I'm watching them and I'm thinking
Right.
about them?
Which is the logical next question.
Which is the logical next question. I was like, okay, so how do I, easy test. Don't watch for a month and watch it later, after. That's what I did. Didn't watch for a month, went back, watched it, again, made sense. Not obviously not 100% everything came true. It's very hard to get that from a general prediction, but so much made sense, and so many things that I worked on during the month that she
Mhm.
spoke, I was like, what the hell is going on
Like
here?
more than a coincidence.
Oh, so much more. So much more. And after that I was sold. I was sold because my left brain scientific mind was sold on that, and that was it. I just went constant deeper and deeper and deeper. Pretty simple.
How did you like find the courses and stuff that to do? Like what did you go on a lot of stuff or what did you?
I did a lot of stuff. I did my best to learn from, and I still do my best to learn from other people. But you come to a point as an astrologer when we're learning from others is great, and I do that on occasion and take a course to open my mind. But a big thing about being an astrologer is still it's like you have to do your own observations. You need to do your own work. You need to be the spiritual scientist yourself. You need to observe. You need to write it down. You need to experiment a lot, and you need to get feedback
Mm.
from a lot of people. That's always really good. So yeah, I recommend everybody who's an astrologer and aspiring astrologer to really, not only be reliant on other people's stuff and only, they have the courses, they have the knowledge. No, you have it as well. Start observing, start looking, start making notes, start writing things down. You will see the patterns, and you will
Mm.
discover new things.
Do you think that you've made like in your sessions, and I ask because I'm also experiencing a bit of this, like do you think that you've kind of made a change recently to more relying on channeling in your sessions than necessarily the astrology?
For sure, for sure. It's been a weird place for me because I'm an astrologer. People listening to this maybe will find it weird, but I don't particularly like predictions that much. I think predictions really a little bit miss as well. Yes, we do the predictions, but we do the rapid fire in the Cosmic Adults, but we do it in a way of let's say the areas we're most likely you're going to be focusing on. That for me is fine, and I like that as well, because if you start to go really specifically into detail with predictions, it will mess up the person's mind. And a
Mm.
lot of people are, I think, in a place where, let's say, I know this happens a lot. A person gets a prediction of, you're heading towards divorce, or you're going to get divorced, or problem, da da da. Difficult one to hear, obviously, but the way I interact with that is a little bit more different. Like, okay, so I see these problems coming up for you in your relationship, but like, what are you guys doing now? Are you connecting? What is the communication between two of you? Like, what is your sex life like? What are you going on date nights? What's the intimacy level? Is there intimacy? Are you talking? These are, for me, are
Mhm.
more important questions. And then we can look at, astrology of like, okay, is there compatibility, or what can we do? What are the main problems? But, a lot of things can be resolved by just communicating, and not a lot of people are communicating, which is for me the big thing. And this is one of the reasons I like to go into the present moment right now. What is happening? Maybe it's your personal thing. What is happening in your work? What is happening in your
Mhm.
spiritual life?